we talk about zombies in a joking manner, and there's a lot of research out there for somebody that wants to check into the zombie thing and see how it works and what's to be said about it. But here are 4 actual cases of people having cannibalistic traits, eating human brains, not responding to pain, so to speak, have superhuman strength. Zombies. If you look at the definition of a zombie, if you could find a legitimate zombie, I don't even know what you call it, criteria to go by, it's always dead. It's a dead thing. But, I've seen a lot of interviews, folks. I've read a lot of stuff on the Miami incident where the 2 naked men were on the highway and the other one jumped on the other guy and started eating his face. Just tore him up, man. Took his eyes out, ate his cheek off, ate his nose. The cops shot him. I think the count was 13 rounds. And I saw an interview, or maybe read a story about the first cop said the first 4 rounds were in the sternum. Guys, we're talking Miami PD. These guys carry 45s or 40 cals minimum. Those of you that are marksmen or know anything about firearms know what a 45 cal or a 40, even a 40 caliber slug, a hollow point slug, what it does to tissue, the fragments it thing. I mean, it's going to destroy organs, guys. 4 rounds, center mass. Think about it. Superhuman strength. First thing in my mind was PCP, but folks, this isn't the only one. Let's talk about the one in Maryland. Or the one in Texas where the woman ate her baby's brains and toes and fingers. What the hell's going on? I mean, really, and then, I don't know how many of you seen it, and I wish I would have thought better to download the video so we could put it up tonight on the show. I might try to do it after the break. But there's a video, or if somebody has the link to it, if you've seen it, there's a video where somebody dressed up in Miami as a zombie and just had somebody following around with a camera and just started chasing people around the city as a zombie. I'm surprised somebody didn't shoot him. I'm breaking up badly there. Are you talking about me, Marks? Well, I'm sorry, brother. I haven't touched nothing. Try to refresh. I gotta tell you, folks, the whole cannibalistic thing. Well, let's pull back from the zombie thing a little bit, guys. Let's talk about radiation on the West Coast. Many of us that frequent stations like mine or video programs or float around YouTube, we all seem to listen to a few of the same people that specialize in the field. And there are a good handful of talented people trying to measure the radiation levels in the air and on the ground on the West Coast in Oregon and in California. I think there's a couple people doing it in Nevada and Utah as well, trying to see how much the radiations come up. Okay, now you can see some of this stuff on maps. If you go to the right websites, you can find all types of different learning devices to show you the different types of radiation. But I'm telling you right now, folks, it's pretty scary when you see somebody pull a Geiger meter out of the box and hold the thing up in the air, and it starts chirping. I want you to think about that. We've had reports of radioactive milk. They had a big story last week on radioactive fish that are being caught. Salmon are being caught in the Pacific Ocean, and they're coming up radioactive. Low levels, mind you. I have a problem with this low level this, low level that. If something's not good for you, period, then even at a low level, you shouldn't be exposed to it. Yet look how they're feeding us the food that we're eating now, folks. How many of you have noticed you just don't digest your food the same way anymore? How many of you, how many of you feel different after you've eaten a meal somewhere at a fast food restaurant? The quality of food that they're feeding us, folks, it's frickin' poison. It's poison. Remember that when you're sitting at the drive-thru cussing out the person for being slow with your poison. Or, God forbid they get your poison order wrong, and you have to go back and complain that you need the right poison that you wanted the poison that you ordered. Like this poison right here, this Pepsi shit. How many are just addicted to this like it's a cigarette? Be very wary about the things you're putting into your body, folks. Prepare yourselves. You're going to hear me start saying that a lot on this show, more than I'm used to saying. Prepare, prepare, prepare. Give me a thumbs up in the chat room if you've been watching the zombie stuff and the radioactive stuff and the weather patterns. Give me a thumbs up if you think you found yourself unprepared or not quite as prepared as you'd like to be. Because, folks, it's really speeding up. Sometimes I think it's me. I'm getting over anxious. But, I've had some really bad feelings several times as being a part of UPRN, the founder of UPRN and the founder of Network1776.org, a person that has done research now for 20 years on everything I talk about here. And it scares the hell out of me that about 80% of the stuff I've been reading for the last 15 years has come true. It used to be considered conspiracy theory. This isn't theory, ladies and gentlemen. This is in your face. The NDAA, the flesh-eating bacteria, the cases of human rabies on the North Coast. Now you've got people walking around and running rampant, eating each other now. 4 or 5 cases in the U.S. alone. I wonder how much stuff hasn't been reported. For all the viewers watching the chat room, how many of you in the chat room, give me a thumbs up. How many of you are finding it almost impossible to cover even a small group of topics anymore because it's popping out everywhere? It's popping out at the seams, folks. We've never, I remember saying 3 months ago, we've never been this busy reading. And now I feel like I'm swimming in it. When the computer went down, I did some breaking. I had to stop again. Like, God, man, I don't even know where to begin. I don't know. How do I choose a topic for a show? My God. Here we are together, folks. Right here, right now. In the United States of America, which used to be the land of the home of the land of the free, the home of the brave. That doesn't sound like us right now. We're definitely not free. And I don't see very many brave people in the United States. I don't. Because we have the power, folks, to shut this down. We have the power to resist. We have the power to hold these people in Congress and Senate and at the, the higher upper echelons of government. We have the power to hold them responsible. Now, I know you've heard me say on this program before that writing your representatives is ridiculous. It doesn't work. I've done it many times. You get back a robotic response on the radio or the phone, or you get an email. Thank you for bliggity blah blah bliggity. I'm tired of that crap, guys. They've made it so apparent. They've made it so bad that they've gone and made it so that all they have to do is call you a domestic terrorist now, folks. All you have to do is qualify. And pretty much to qualify, you just have to say something bad about the government or not agree about the government. Say something in a threatening manner about the government, and I'll guarantee you if somebody heard it and makes a report on it, you'll be getting a visit. I'm hearing it more and more and more. People are getting visited. You used to hear about, man, the cops came into my house last night. My neighbor said I was making too much noise. Now I'm starting to hear, hey, man, the feds came over to my house, man. Apparently they didn't like what I had to say. In a free country where you have freedom of speech, they didn't like what you had to say. Now, I can understand threatening a president has to be investigated, I'm sure, as well as if somebody threatened a senator or a congressman. But, folks, where's the line drawn? When are we, technically we're already not free to speak. Monograph, who I'm a big fan of, and I tell you, Monty's one of the first people that really got me to play around with YouTube enough to actually find myself doing what we're doing right here tonight. Monograph has a great saying, if you're not speaking freely, you're simply not speaking. And that is so true, folks. And all those are our words. You can hear somebody say something like that, and it totally gets you pumped up. But what happens after you get pumped up? What happened after we marched all those people into D.C. on 9/12 back in, I think that was 2009 or 2010? What happened then? What happened during the G20 protest in Pittsburgh? What happened after the NATO protest in Chicago? What happened after all these Tea Parties? Now, a lot of you Tea Party members get kind of pissed at me when I say I firmly believe that the Tea Party was hijacked by the Republican Party. And that's why I started pulling back from the Tea Party, because that's where I come from, guys. When I started to become verbal and forthright with my voice and really start putting my opinion out there to masses of people, anybody that would listen, and I found Tea Parties were the perfect place I could stand in front of an audience and speak my mind, speak freely. And that's kind of where UPRN comes from. And I seen what started to happen with the Tea Party movement. And listen, I think they're making an honest, valiant attempt. But folks, if you're a part of some type of a party, then you're still blinded. Okay, it doesn't matter if you're a party that's recognized. Then the party they're batting all for the same team, folks. They're batting against the people. And now I don't even have to sit here and preach about it. Just about anybody that pays enough attention to vote would pay enough attention to the newsreels and monitor who says what and who's voting for this and that and who said that and the other. And it doesn't take much to see what they're doing, folks. You know, many people have told me if it looks like shit and it smells like shit and it tastes like shit, it must be shit. Well, judging just on what has happened and the laws that have been passed by our President Obama, just in the last, just since January of 2012, look, just line it up and you tell me what's it look like they're doing. What's it look like to you, folks? Oh.